lucky for me, I am a parent as well as a teacher. That's good. I'm not saying that teachers can't be good teachers if they aren't parents. That's not true. I've some of the best teachers I've ever known have no children and are excellent teachers. But there are some advantages when a teacher is a parent. And I often had parents that were concerned about their child being they would use the word hyperactive. Oh my gosh, he's so hyperactive. He just can't sit still. He's always doing things, always making things, always taking things apart. I'm the mother of what they were calling a hyperactive student. And it was really kinesthetic student. They learn with their hands. And that's the only way they do that naturally. No one taught them that. A kinesthetic learner was born that way, just like a visual learner is born that way and an auditory learner is born that way. So it's the modality of how they learn. But a kinesthetic learner has to move it, twist it, take it apart, put it back together again, and that's how they learn. And they learn best that way. So if when the teacher knows that, they can teach to that learning with their hands modality with projects. And I learned it right away as a parent because my son was only 4 when he decided to take the railing apart on our balcony, our 2 second-story balcony. I have big plate glass windows. I could see him out there on the balcony, and I could see him. It was very safe, but when I looked, he was there doing his thing out there. He always was great at entertaining himself. He could always play for hours on his own, and that's what he was doing. But I was watching closely, and then the next thing I noticed, he turned around and he was holding the whole railing off of the second-story wrought iron railing. He was holding it, and I go, "Oh my gosh!" And I went out there. I go, "What did you do? What's happening?" And he just showed me that he had a screwdriver, and he knew where the screwdriver was. I'm not sure where I kept it at that time, but I remember hiding it the next day. I wanted to know what he was using, of course, and he took that railing apart, and he all by himself, and it was heavy and wrought iron. It was a big wrought. Anyway, needless to say, I did stop that project. We needed to stop it so I could get it secured more tightly, and so he wouldn't tumble off the balcony. That was a blessing that he didn't. But he had lots of ambition to do things like that. That's a kinesthetic learner, and you put that into a classroom with other visual learners and auditory learners and maybe a couple of kinesthetic learners sprinkled in, and you have a very interesting combination. And the creative teacher who wants creativity to happen in their classroom lets that happen. They teach to those kinds of students because it makes things interesting and wonderful, and everybody gets to learn. Visual, auditory, and kinesthetic all get to learn. And that's why it's important to allow that to happen. And it's a great experience when it does.